Hey everyone. So today I want to share a really simple, but honestly, a really powerful story. It's all about how to calm that restless mind that I think we all struggle with sometimes. And believe it or not, the secret is hidden in a simple glass of water.
But first, let me ask you something. Does your mind ever just race? Jumping from one thought to the next just nonstop? It can leave you feeling so drained, right? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone.
And that's actually the perfect place to start our story because that's exactly how this young guy Marco felt. He was only 24, but his mind was just this constant storm. He'd gotten to a point where he'd literally forgotten what it felt like to just smile.
Okay, so let's dig into Marco's problem, this storm inside his head. And it's something I think a lot of us can see a bit of ourselves in.
See, Marco's mind was basically stuck in a loop. It was always swinging between two extremes. He'd either be caught up feeling sad and full of regret about things that had already happened, or he'd be totally consumed with anxiety and fear about what might happen next. He was living in the past, he was living in the future, anywhere but right here, in the present.
He just felt so lost. He knew he couldn't keep going like this. So he decides he's got to find an answer. And that's what sets him off on this incredible journey, this quest to find some peace.
So one day, he starts hearing these whispers, these stories about a wise old man living way out in a distant village. And get this wasn't just some hermit. He used to be a really famous psychologist in the city, but he gave it all up for a quiet life in nature. This just sparks something in Marco, a little bit of hope. He thinks, okay, maybe this is the person who can help me. So, after a really long, tough journey, he finally makes it there and finds him.
Okay, and this is where things get really interesting, because the wise man doesn't sit him down for a big lecture or some complicated theory. Nope. Instead, he gives him a task. A super simple, really specific task that involves nothing more than a glass of water. So here's what he does. The old man takes a glass and fills it right up to the very, very top, to the brim. He tells Marco, I want you to walk from here to the edge of the village and then come right back. Sounds simple, right? But there was a catch, a really important one.
And here's the rule. You must not spill even one drop of water. That's it. That one little rule, it changes the whole game. Suddenly, this task requires Marco's complete 100% focus.
So Marco takes the glass and starts his walk. And this isn't some quiet country lane, right? The village is bustling. There are people running around, shopkeepers yelling out, dogs barking, all over the place. But Marco, he doesn't see or hear any of it. It's like his whole world just shrinks down to that tiny, shimmering surface of the water in the glass. His focus is absolute.
So he finally gets back, and he's done it. Not a single drop spilled. In his mind, he's just completed the task. But he has no idea that the wise man is about to drop the real lesson on him. This is it, the secret to peace.
The old man just looks at him with this little smile and asks, So, tell me, did you see the children playing while you were walking? Did you hear the dogs barking?
And Marco's just kind of stunned. He thinks about it and gives a really honest answer. No, I didn't see or hear a thing. I was only focusing on the glass. And boom, right there in that one sentence is the entire point.
The wise man explains it to him. That, right there, that is the secret. See, when your mind is completely, totally focused on what you're doing right now, there's just no room for anything else. There's no space for worrying about the future or feeling bad about the past. In that moment of pure focus, his mind finally went quiet. And you can just imagine the shift in him. It was huge. Marco showed up as this restless, anxious young guy with a storm in his head, and he left peaceful because he finally understood that the secret to calm wasn't out there somewhere. It was inside him the whole time.
Okay, so this is a great story, right? But the real question is, how do we take this lesson and actually use it in our own lives? Because that's what really matters. And here's the big takeaway. So often, we're looking for peace outside of ourselves, like it's something we need to find or buy or achieve. But this story shows us that's not how it works. Peace is already inside us. It's a state we can tap into whenever we decide to just be fully present. Which brings us right back to you. And this is the final and maybe the most important question. What's your glass of water right now? What is the one thing in this moment that you can give your complete, undivided attention to? Whatever it is,
find it, focus on it, and you might just discover that peace you've been looking for is right there with you.